has been an icon in the Greenview community for decades. The school has been educating and inspiring young people since 1954, and many throughout Columbia still recall their days walking through its halls. Now, Reverend Carey A. Grady, pastor of Reid Chapel AME Church, has a new vision for the school and sat down with us to talk about his mission to ensure that the community knows that V.V. Reid is alive and well. Pastor Grady, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm well, thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to sit down with us today.
Okay.
Could you start out, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit of your background?
Sure. Well, originally I'm born, bred, and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. My father is a retired bishop in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, Bishop Zedekiah Lizette Grady. My mother, Mrs. Carey Etta Robertson Grady, is a retired educator. My mother is actually about 30 miles from here, from Winsboro, South Carolina, Fairfield County. So I have a host of relatives here in the Columbia area and the surrounding areas. My father's from Florida. They met 1955-56 at Allen University as students. My father was in the seminary there, mom in undergrad, and they met, and the rest is history. Growing up, my father pastored a church called Morris Brown African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, and that's our home church. I went away to school to Johnson C. Swift in Charlotte, North Carolina for one semester. I left. I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C., and while in school, I was very involved in my local church. I accepted my call to ministry, and from there prepared myself to get ready to go to seminary. Turner Theological Seminary at the Interdenominational Theological Center of Mouthful in Atlanta, Georgia.
So now that we have you back home,
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your goals for Reid Chapel.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Reid Chapel is a wonderful church. It's been around since 1954. It's very interesting because a lot of churches in what we call mainline organizations and institutions have a lot of churches that are 150, 100 plus years old. The church that I left was 178 years old. But the beauty of Reid Chapel, the church is 61 years old, founded in 1954. Most churches, whether we like to admit it or not, particularly those that are part of a mainline denomination or a predominantly African American denomination, were birthed out of a crucible of some sort of struggle. So for this church, some churches were founded in the 1800s after the institution of slavery ended. This church was founded at the height of segregation in the state of South Carolina in 1954. Bishop Frank Madison Reid Sr., who was the bishop at that time, felt there needed to be an AME church in the Greenview community. 1954 is just a couple of years after World War II. After World War II, your black World War II veterans were moving into the Greenview community, and a lot of them didn't have a place to go to church or a place to bring up or educate their children. So the bishop decided that a church needed to be here, and it was Reid Chapel. And the first pastor is the Reverend Lee M. Seawood, who's still here. He comes every Sunday. He was the founding pastor of the local church. He's 90 years old, and he's an inspiration to us all. The church started across the street where the actual school is, which was a one-room building. After they had church on Sunday, they took the chairs up and they put the cots down for the daycare. The school was always for 2.5-year-olds up to 5-year-olds. And then in the 80s, 89, 1990, the school became an elementary school as well.
Okay. So now tell us a little bit about the mission of the school and what direction are you trying to take the school?
Wonderful. Well, the direction of the school has always been just to educate children, not just black children, but all children. So when it was founded in 1954, as you can imagine, there were not a lot of places where we could take our children. Right. But you could take your children to the daycare here. And then, of course, it was part of the kindergarten, and then it became the elementary school. But that's the overall mission is to educate the child holistically, which means spiritually as well, not just academics and not just physically, but spiritual, physically, and intellectually, of course, but emotionally as well. Wonderful. Well, so one of the things about V.V. Reid that's always been amazing to me as I'm learning even more about the school is that the school has always operated on an advanced curriculum. So if you're in first grade, you're really able to do second grade work. If you're in kindergarten, you're able to do first grade work. And that was always the intent when the school, when the daycare went into first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. That was always his intent, to have it advance. But I think what it has done, which a lot of your predominantly African-American institutions did when they first started, as they were able to reach children and to reach parents who other persons would want to throw away or not take the risk on. And that's something that I'm very proud of. So we have students that may have some developmental or behavioral issues and concerns, but at VV Reid there is a place for them, and we're able and qualified to deal with particular behavior patterns, so on and so forth.
Okay. What new programs or new outreach efforts are you instituting to reach out to the community to let them know that, hey, listen, bring your kids here. Don't take them across town.
Yeah. Well, what we're doing is we really are in the midst of starting and launching a public relations campaign for the school. So since 1954, we've been educating children, okay? And since 1989, we've had the elementary school. The reality is there are a couple of things that we're doing. We want to let everyone know that VV Reid is alive and well. The first thing we want to do is we want to reach out to all of the alumni of VV Reid, and I meet them everywhere in the city. That's the first thing, and we want to really make the Alumni Association. You have like a loose group of alumni, but we want to really organize like a full-fledged alumni association, that they're having annual meetings and that they're raising monies and funds for the school. So we want to reach out, and the beauty of us having this dialogue is that with your medium and your audience, we can reach a lot of those alumni. So we want to organize the alumni into being a part of the school. We have a lot of teachers who teach at VV Reid who went to VV Reid. We have a lot of parents have their children in VV Reid, and those parents went to VV Reid themselves. So we're in the process of listening to those stories. Persons who have children who are at VV Reid and they went to VV Reid. We want them to sit down and tell us their story on video, or put it in promotional literature to say, I went to VV Reid, it was such a wonderful experience, I want my children to go to VV Reid as well. So that's one thing that we're doing. The public relations campaign will segue into a capital campaign. We want to raise $1 million+ $1 million to $2 over a 2 to 3 year period for three particular specific purposes. One, we can increase our teacher's salary. It is a private school. It takes about $11,000 to $12,000 to educate a child in the public school system in the state of South Carolina. And literally, we have been doing it for half the cost, and we've been doing that since 1954. Okay. Secondly, we want to increase the teachers' salaries and make it commensurate with the public school teachers, so that we can continue to get the best of the best. We already have great teachers, but we have a lot of teachers who have made the sacrifice because they just believe in VV Reid. Or we get several retirees who like our holistic model of educating a child, who once they retire will come and serve faithfully. So we want to increase the teacher salaries. We want to increase and strengthen the retirement and benefit package, so that is also commensurate with quote-unquote secular jobs. And thirdly, we want to be able to offer tuition scholarships, from 40% tuition scholarships to 50% tuition scholarships to full tuition scholarships to students to attend the VV Reid School. So those are our main things that we're trying to put into place, along with the alumni, along with developing a booster club. So you may not be an alumni of the school. Your son or daughter may have gone to VV Reid, but after that you may not have any more involvement with the school. But no, you can join our booster club, which is going to be a support mechanism for the school. The last part of that is going to be our PTO. We have a very strong parent-teacher organization. They just did a local fundraiser with Krispy Kreme donuts. It was very well. And they do, small fundraisers throughout the year. So with the parent-teacher organization, the booster club, and the alumni, we plan to just get the word out about VV Reid, that we've been here for 61 years, and we're planning to be here for another 61 years.